When looking at bargains on FanDuel, we'll typically focus on hitters who are $3,200 or lower. For DraftKings, the threshold is around $3,800. In general, we'll only highlight players at the top end of that scale if they have star potential. Please note, these player picks were organized early in the day. For MLB contests, always check lineups and weather closer to game time. Rain, wind, or unexpected managerial decisions could open up additional sources of value. Be sure to keep an eye on the MLB headlines and injuries desk. Editor's note: stay ahead of the competition from wire to wire with rankings, customizable projections, trade evaluator, exclusive columns and more in our season pass. And start using optimized lineups on Yahoo, DraftKings and FanDuel with our DFS toolkit. We're picking for the 8-game evening slate at 7:05 Eastern Time. FanDuel. Avoiding visiting pitchers at Coors Field is a long-standing tradition among DFS participants. And yet, Tehran projects to deliver a modestly useful appearance coupled with a bargain basement price. Carrying over a late 2018 trend, he's turned into a slider-first pitcher, working his fastball off of his bendy stuff rather than the other way around. Sliders do lose a little bite at elevation, adding to the risk of this assignment. Tehran is especially useful on DraftKings where he's the second cheapest pitcher and can be offset with Justin Verlander. On FanDuel, I'd be highly tempted to use similarly priced Vince Velasquez, Marco Estrada, or Eric Lauer. 2 Buster Posey, C1B San Francisco Giants, FanDuel $2,500 per DraftKings $3,900 most days. We'll highlight a power-hitting first baseman for the C1B slot. On this particular Monday, the best value between the two sites is a contact-oriented catcher. Mostly, this is due to DraftKings offering almost no bargain-priced alternatives. Despite a statistically slow start, Posey looks like his normal self. A cleanup role, even on a bad offense, is a valuable status symbol in daily fantasy. He also has a winnable matchup against Southpaw Eric Lauer. Posey is a career .325, .395, .536 hitter against lefties. Even if we assume his best days are behind him, we should expect a solid return tonight. We're looking for multiple hits and run production rather than a home run. 3 Andrelton Simmons, SS, Los Angeles Angels, FanDuel $2,500 per DraftKings $3,800. Simmons, another cleanup hitter with nearly modest power, has a decent-looking matchup against mid-tier righty Jhoulys Chacin. Relief ace Josh Hader threw 2.2 innings yesterday and thus should be unavailable. The rest of the Milwaukee bullpen makes for a far easier opponent. Simmons is struggling to get going this year, but there's no reason to think it's more than a small sample blip. Through 35 plate appearances, he's batting .176, .200, .176 with a .207 BABIP. If anything, the quality of his contact has improved. We should expect another typical high-average, modest power campaign. Tonight, we're looking for the same as Posey, hits and run production. 4 Robbie Grossman, of Oakland Athletics, FanDuel $2,700 per DraftKings $4,000. Grossman isn't a power hitter. He doesn't have speed. There's just one thing working in his favor as a DFS asset: he's usually the Athletics' leadoff hitter. As a patient batter, he figures to reach base multiple times via hit or walk. Hopefully he'll score a couple runs too. To me, Grossman is most tempting as part of what will be a very popular Athletics stack. They're visiting Andrew Cashner, a pitcher with middling command, no swing and miss stuff, and a recent track record for over 5.00 errors. 5 Dwight Smith Jr. of Baltimore Orioles, FanDuel $2,800 per DraftKings $3,900. The Orioles' presumed second hitter this evening wouldn't start for nearly any other major league club. Recommending him feels dirty because on a talent level, he's one of the 5 worst outfielders available in the slate. As a semi-contact-oriented hitter in a tiny ballpark against a soft-tossing opponent, there's some modest potential for surprising production. I do wish he was cheaper. A $2,200 per $2,800 price tag feels more appropriate. DraftKings offers only a few bargain-priced outfielders. Smith is one of them. Personally, I strongly prefer Jorge Soler at the same price, but he's too pricey on FanDuel. Also consider Marco Estrada, Oak, SP. The Athletics' pitch-to-contact changeup specialist is usually a top stacking target. A visit to Baltimore opposite Cashner promises an easy outing with plentiful run support. Beware, even the worst major leaguers can mash 88 miles per hour fastballs if they're not expertly placed. While I believe Estrada isn't long for the Athletics' rotation or roster, I do think he'll survive this outing with passable production for his cheap price. He's a better play on FanDuel than DraftKings. Brian Dozier was 2B, isn't a bargain on DraftKings, but he is available for a dirt cheap $2,100 on FanDuel. The second baseman is off to a miserable start, which includes an uncharacteristic 34.6% strikeout rate, .125 BABIP, and no extra base hits. I'll bet on this being an untimely cold spell rather than anything seriously worrisome. A visit to a cozy Citizens Bank Park could prove well-timed. Velasquez is probably the Phillies' worst pitcher. Matt Chapman, Oak 3B, also isn't a bargain on DraftKings or FanDuel, at least not by our usual price-based standards. In terms of production per dollar, he's one of the best plays on both sites. The Athletics are visiting Camden Yards, an excellent venue at which to chase home runs. Chapman is a patient, powerful slugger with a mid-lineup role against Cashner. The Orioles' bullpen is also exploitable. Toolkit values. The MLB DFS Toolkit offers optimized lineups and sharp analysis of daily action on FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo. Among the best values not discussed above are Tony Wolters, Pat Valaika, Evan Longoria, and Alex Verdugo, if starting.